Good morning, everyone. Scott Mabor here with your Medicare Missive from the pond for Tuesday, the 3rd of June. Hope you're all having a great day. Let's see, what did I want to talk about? Yesterday, I got a call from a longtime client. So she's been a client at least 3 or 4 years. It's been quite a while. Has had an Advantage plan, has no premium, no deductible, has had it for several years now, and has, as far as I know, been quite happy with it, has had no issues with it, and it hasn't really cost her much. Well, I found out last week she was hospitalized for a few days, and she has a bill for the ambulance, and she has a bill for the hospital of like $1,500. Okay, not cheap, but certainly not the end of the world in terms of what the alternative is. She asked me if I could put her on the same plan as her husband, and I said we can certainly make a change during an enrollment period. But do you want to pay $200 a month because you paid $1,500 one time over, let's say, a 3-year period? Maybe you do, and quite all right. A supplement has no copays, and I'm talking about a supplement 1A in Mass or a supplement G in other states. Supplement has no copays. Supplement has no network. Supplement has a tiny deductible, $257. It's a great option. Certainly not telling you or her not to take a supplement. Compare that with the Advantage plan. It has no premium, and a supplement ballpark number, I always say $200 a month. Could be more, could be less, depends on where you live, depends on your age, when you sign up, depends on your gender, it all depends on what state you live in. Compare that to an Advantage plan that is what she has now. She has no premium, so she saves ballpark $200 a month. It includes her medications, and I don't recall what her medications are, but she doesn't have to buy a standalone drug plan. It's also giving her some dental and some vision and some fitness and some over-the-counter benefit, all of which she would give up if she opts for the supplement. So I'm not saying which is the right answer, and ultimately it's her decision, not mine. But I will say that people have this knee-jerk reaction when they get a big copay bill, and they're like, oh my God, I got to switch to what my husband has. He was in the hospital and didn't pay a thing. That's true, but he does pay $250 a month between his medications and his supplement that you don't pay. And he has a deductible of $257, so add that in too. It's another month of premium. So he's got 13 months a year of $250, plus he has no dental, plus he has no vision, plus he has no hearing aids, etc., etc. Which is better? I don't know. Partly it depends on how much flexibility you want, how much flexibility you're willing to pay for. Do the other benefits, the ancillary benefits, make a difference to you? I have people who say, I don't care about the dental, I get it from an employer, or my husband's a dentist. Great, you don't need dental insurance. Not a problem. But what matters to you? I'm in the process of enrolling a very well-off attorney into an Advantage plan, gave him the choice of all, and he said, why would I take a supplement? I'll go with the Advantage plan. And it pays for Lifetime Fitness in this case. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's the Y that he goes to. It pays for his YMCA membership, which he says is around $130 a month. So he's adding that back into the cost. The only other thing that I will suggest or make a comment on is if you have an Advantage plan and you want to stick with that model, but you are concerned, as this woman is now, about her big copays if you're hospitalized, look at a hospital insurance plan. These are plans designed to work with your Advantage plan, typically in the $40 a month range, so far cheaper than buying a supplement. And it will reimburse you, and you can pick different options, but it will reimburse you for stays in the hospital, for emergency room visits, for ambulance rides, for rehabilitation stays. And you can set the parameters, you can set what it pays you on, you can set how much it pays you. So all of that, of course, affects the premium cost. But it gives you an opportunity to have an Advantage plan without that concern. So you can buy hospital insurance. You can buy critical illness insurance. So if you're diagnosed with cancer or a heart attack or have a stroke, you'll be paid typically a lump sum which will cover all the copays for the year. If you're in a state like Massachusetts, you can then switch plans. So, if you have a $5,000 or a $7,000 max out of pocket, you can take a $5,000 or a $10,000 benefit. God forbid you're diagnosed or you have a heart attack. They send you a check for $10,000. You put it in your savings account, your checking account. You pay out as you need to. Here in Massachusetts, you could then make the decision to switch. If you're in a state with underwriting, you may not be eligible to switch. But definitely another option for those who want an Advantage plan but are worried about maxing out their plan with big copays. It doesn't happen often, but if you get some peace of mind from having a hospital plan, in this case, it would have paid for the ambulance, it would have paid for the copay, and it would have cost her $40 a month instead of $200, and she retains the other benefits. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I am not advocating one versus the other. I give you the details. I answer your questions. I help you make an informed decision. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy.